This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. The picture you're looking at is me in India. I left the United States in 2007. I've traveled to about 64 countries at this time. I first kept track of my travels in a private travel blog, which I'll share with you if you like. But then I started Vagabond Buddha, which gives more information about each place, cost of living, things to do, best places to stay, best restaurants, best way to get there, video walking tour, and the best travel or retire cheap to paradise locations in the world. Just click the link below this video if you'd like more information about this place. Now here's our video. So this is Lake Titicaca, and that's Puno, the city of Puno. And we're heading out to see a 2-day trip to see islands, and the boat we're riding on is right there, called the Puno. It's going to take us island hopping. We're spending the night with a family on one of the islands. We're leaving Puno on Lake Titicaca. So this is the Eros Islands, I think that's how it's pronounced, and they came here long ago from the Brazilian rainforest, and they came to Puno, but the people did not welcome them, and so they had to build these islands. We're on a floating island. It's built of reed, this local material that grows all around Titicaca, and they pretty much have their own society here. They don't have a passport, and they live in the middle of Titicaca Lake, and their main income is tourism, and they eat fish and rice and have a pretty simple life. All of these huts you see in the distance are all part of this community. I don't know how many people are here, but it's quite amazing, really. They've built these islands and they live on them.
Twinkle, twinkle, little sun, how well under was your one. Alemanian sun of the sun.
Lots of tourists around here now, Uros Islands. But we're sitting on man-made islands. They're made of reed. It's pretty cool. Lake Titicaca, Peru.
Ja, wir bleiben 10 Minuten gleich und dann weiter. This is Lake Titicaca. It's they call it the highest navigable lake in the world. We're at 12,500 feet here. These reeds you see are what the Uros people use to build their islands. As you can see, there's an abundance of it, and it's free. Titicaca is so large that it's in both Peru and Bolivia. Give you an idea of how big this lake is. We've been driving cruising I guess, for about an hour and a half already, and you can see mountains on the horizon over there, but if you go twist a little to the right over here, you cannot even see mountains on the horizon in that gap over there, and that's a big lake. One of the things surprising to me about a lot of Peru is how all of the land is terraced. There's just wide open spaces, wide open flat spaces and mountains, and the mountains are all terraced, and you wonder how many people lived here that they needed so much food. Those white-capped mountains you can see over there, those are near La Paz. I don't know if you can see them or not, way off on the horizon. We're going for 2 hours now, we still can't see the space between the island there and the white caps. There's nothing over there. And this whole lake is surrounded by mountains. So there's mountains over there we can't even see yet. It's probably the tail of the puma. Some people say the Lake Titicaca, part of it is shaped like a puma and a rabbit, and that's the direction of the tail, I believe, for the puma. This is Amantani Island. About 4,000 people live in 10 communities on this 6 square mile island. There are 2 small peaks, Father Earth and Mother Earth. Both peaks have ancient ruins on top. The hillsides are terraced to grow wheat, potatoes, and vegetables. There are no cars, no hotels, no machines on the island, so the work is done by hand. There's an electrical generator that provides power a few hours per day when petroleum prices are affordable. Most people use candles or battery-powered flashlights, but some have begun to install solar panels. Some open their homes for tourists to spend the night. There are traditional dance shows for the tourists, and they dress tourists up in traditional clothes and make them dance and laugh at them. This is in Lake Titicaca, Peru. It's a beautiful sunset over Lake Titicaca, Peru. down here with Vagabond Buddha, and I'm in Peru, Lake Titicaca. Just had a beautiful day, and now we're heading to another island. And I was just thinking that success without happiness really means almost nothing, and so it seems like what many people do is they focus on success with this idea that one day once they have enough success, they'll be happy. And I think you really have to start with success. If you're going to pick one to start with, you would start with happiness. So again, I think you need to start with happiness. And I think this is where most people struggle in their life, because success is just a series of actions you take to get to a destination, and there's always another step you're going to take to find success. And the human mind is built well for that sort of strategy. It's able to map out a strategy from where someone is now to where they want to go, and there's lots of resources out there that teach that sort of thing. But in the end, the mind is great at pursuing success, but it's not good at pursuing happiness. You see, success is always next. There's always something more you need to achieve, and the success mind is about figuring out what needs to be improved. So there's always something that is not as good as it could be, and that is where the mind does best. It's very good at analyzing situations, figuring out what's wrong and how to improve that situation. But the idea of what's next, this not right now not being perfect, that's what the mind is good at. But it doesn't bring happiness. Happiness comes from being in the present moment, which the mind is not good at. The mind is always interested in what's next. And so I think you need to start with happiness, and you need to understand that your mind is not the tool to use to find happiness. And so anyway, I wrote a little bit on the subject, and I want to offer you a free ebook on the subject. It's called Start with Happiness. So this is Taquile Island on the Peruvian side of Lake Titicaca. We just hiked up about a meter, very steep, about, I don't know, or sorry, a kilometer. We hiked up a kilometer, and the incline was about 200 meters, so pretty good incline. So kind of winded right now. So this island is known for textiles made by men, which we haven't seen yet, but that's one of the highlights here. So, and here's the view from Main Square. The cheering you hear is Peru. The Peruvian team's in Russia playing soccer, as Americans call it. This is Taquile Lake. The Taquile society runs based upon the Inca moral code, which translates to do not steal, do not lie, do not be lazy. The economy is based upon fishing, terraced farming, and tourism. Taquile males are expert weavers, and they produce textiles of remarkable quality. There are also a number of interesting archaeological sites and breathtaking views here on the island in Lake Titicaca, Peru. Back to Puno. Just finished 2 days on Lake Titicaca, island hopping, and now we're back to the beautiful Puno. Hopefully we can catch a bus in the morning to Cusco and see some more of beautiful Peru.
Thanks for listening to our video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like, leave a comment below, subscribe to Vagabond Buddha, or click the link below in the notes below this YouTube video to find out more about this location or all of the Travel Cheap to Paradise locations on Vagabond Buddha. Thank you.